I'm going to tell you the code. The code of the world. I'm going to special for pillars. All this is a Pandar's patio. We also have a bar known as Pandar's Poop Deck. Mm, Planet Pandar. Pandar Prince of Draconis. Pandar's father. Pandar's ex-wife. Pandar's pensions. That's pigeons. Someone thought it was pigeons. What's pigeons? No one knows what that is yet. Oh, mm, Pandar's pets. That's you. You're one of my pets. Pandar from Planet Draconis. Pandar Prince of Draconis. Pandar the Reptilian Draco. Mm, there's another Pandar, Pandar Brontosaurus. Pandar loves blankies. Pandar loves green blankies. Pandar's pickles. Pandar the Pundit. A pundit is an Indian term from India. It means sort of a wise man, a pundit. Sometimes you have political pundits, they've been news junkies forever and, a talking head like me. This is the Toronto Raptors. Raptors are reptilians. Guess who else is a reptilian? You. You thought it was going to be me because I say I'm a reptilian. It's true. But you have a reptilian. And is it the midbrain that's reptilian? The brainstem. The lower part of your brain is reptilian. You didn't know that? You can go back to grade 6. So you're part dinosaur. You thought you were a mammal. Stupid little monkey. Monkey-minded. You got a monkey mind, but you got a dinosaur lower brain, midbrain. And you thought the dinosaurs were extinct. The Raptors won the NBA championship. Go, Planet Reptile. I love chameleons. And little tiny lizards, the ones that are 2 inches long. They hang out by the pool if you're in Florida. They got little eyes that kind of turn this way and that way. I don't know if I can do it with these eyes. They're so cute. They're so cute. I don't know. Someone was asking me about Project Orange. We've got Project Orange. And it's symbolized by this perfume, Project Orange. This is Lagenfelder perfume. That's very orange, Put it next to the light. You can see. Very orange. Edgar wants to speak, but he doesn't want to come to the front. Edgar says, how long is it going to be before we get anywhere with Back to the Future? I heard the cat lady coming. She likes it. Back to the Future. He says it sounds like Church Lady from Saturday Night Live. It's a knockoff. Cat lady, church lady. Edgar's getting very annoyed. He's huffing and puffing and he wants to blow his dragon breath all over me. You know what dragon breath is? Somebody who was... I don't know what would give it to you. Dragon breath. Someone who's drinking Canadian rye whiskey. And if they drank it for 6 hours, they drink, it wasn't top shelf, like it wasn't Crown Royal. It would be Canadian Club
Canadian Club Rye Whiskey, which is bargain basement whiskey. And there was another one, I can't think of it, but Canadian Club. If you drank Canadian Club all night and then you went to bed and you had the dry, no, it was not dry. You might have barfed. Yeah, I mean, you might have barfed and blew your cookies. And then you were lying there in a cold sweat. And then what happened was the cold sweat was made of that smell of the Canadian Club Rye whiskey, and it came out of your pores. And then the alarm rang, and it was 6:50, and you had to be at work at 7 o'clock. So you didn't take a shower, you didn't brush your teeth, and you went in to work, and you stunk of yesterday's rye whiskey binge. That's dragon breath. The smell of rye whiskey from last night coming out through your breath, coming out through your skin. Can you imagine the smell? Someone once said that the problem with coffee is coffee breath. And they said it's like coffee breath, something about being rhino breath. Another guy used to say if you had really bad breath, it smells like the afterbirth of a rhino. I read that one. A tea, if you drink, orange pekoe tea, it gives you nice, pleasant breath. I'm not so sure. Could be. In the olden days, when people went to, greasy spoon cafes for breakfast, they would have, if they were feeling hungover, they would have coffee and a cigarette. Ugh! Ugh! Oh, can you imagine being hungover, going into a greasy spoon, looking at the menu, and just saying, I can't eat, I can't eat. I'll have a coffee. And then in those days, you could smoke cigarettes inside the cafe. So they'd have coffee and a cigarette on a hangover. Oh! And then what they do, somebody, I'm going to leave that one. They'd get Anacin, because Anacin was a kind of aspirin that was made for hangovers. And what you'd do is you'd take 2 Anacin dry, put it in your mouth, and then you'd drink it with coffee. And maybe chew it. Maybe chew it, because then it would get in your system earlier. Now, if you're a wuss, what you would do is you'd ask for a glass of water at the Greasy Spoon Cafe, and you'd open up a little packet, and it would be 2 little tablets, and it would go plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. And that stuff was called, I can't remember. And then what could you take? You could take Sen-Sen. It was another little small packet of powder, and it was a breath freshener. Or you could take what was the stuff that had chlorophyll in it? There was a kind of gum. It was green gum with chlorophyll for freshening your breath. And then after you had your coffee and cigarette, then you might look at the menu again at the Gracie Spoon Cafe. Gracie Spoon. And you would have a greasy breakfast. So you would have fried eggs, home fries, toast, dry rye toast, and then you would have maybe you'd have a large juice, orange juice, and then I'd want one of those insulated thermoses full of coffee, coffee creamer, not milk. It would have to be coffee cream. And after you ate all that, it would likely be that you would feel better. Alka Seltzer was the name of the stuff that went pop, plop, plop, fizz, fizz. And I think it had aspirin in it, and it was bubbly and had bicarbonate of soda. If you have a bad hangover, if you put bicarbonate of soda in water, that, swirl it around, stir it up, and you drink that down. That'll help you feel better. Are we done? Are we done?
Gibson's Farms is really good. Carrington makes an well. Crown Royal's the gold standard. Oh, Black Velvet. Black Velvet is worse than Canadian Club. Black Velvet is, Now, Black Velvet you can buy in Canada. It'll make, well, but it's nothing like they call it Canadian whiskey, but they sell it in Minnesota. Minnesota isn't Canada, so they sell this stuff and they call it Canadian whiskey. It ain't even brewed in Kissimmee. It's not made in Kissimmee in Florida. This stuff is called Lord Calvert. Lord Calvert Canadian whiskey. It is the most bottom of the barrel. The only thing that's even worse than Lord Calvert from Minnesota is this stuff they call swish. Swish is basically good whiskey. They put it in an oak barrel to age. And when it's done, they sell the oak barrels and people buy them, get their garden hose and fill up the barrel with water. And then they let it sit, and then it leaches out all of the whiskey residue that's in the wood into the water in the barrel, and then they drink this and they call it swish. Only in Canada. Only in Canada. Getting drunk on swish. In Toronto, that's Canada. They drink swish. Not at the bar. This is like at your home bar. You bought yourself a couple of barrels from the distillery, and you got rye swish. What do you mix it with? Nothing. Drink it straight. It's very woody, very dry and woody. Oak. Does it have much booze in it? It's mostly for the taste. I don't know if you get drunk on swish. You have to drink a lot of it. Mostly for the flavor. Does it taste? It just tastes like oak wood. Dry. Astringent. Ugh. Ugh. Someone wanted to say something about Budweiser beer, Beechwood aged. I gotta get some water. I need some water. Bye bye.